Hello everyone, my name is Mark. I'm coming to you from the North Ridgeville Public Library from our brand new Charlie cart. This is our mobile culinary center. We're going to do a lot of cooking demonstrations, and we want to send a big thank you out to Heart and Soul for partnering with us on this project. Today we're going to be making a fresh cucumber and tomato salad. This is a very simple recipe, and I think you'll find, well, I know you'll find in the summer when you have fresh ingredients, you really can use simple recipes. The food is so fresh and delicious on its own, it just doesn't need a lot of seasoning, or sometimes the simplest way is the best way. So today let me go over some of the ingredients we're going to use. Of course, with a cucumber salad, we have cucumber. I have some red sweet onion, bell pepper, or green bell pepper, 3 small tomatoes, some fresh parsley, salt and pepper, a little olive oil, cider vinegar, and garlic powder. And I thought I would go over a few things with you today, just since we'll have some extra time. First, the tomato. Now, I'm going to peel and seed these tomatoes for our salad. I don't want a lot of juice from the tomatoes in the salad. I don't want the seeds in the salad, and I really don't want the skins in the salad. So for the first tomato, I'm going to take the skin off with a knife and use that as a garnish. I'm going to make a rose out of this. So I'm just going to take my knife, and I'm going to peel this tomato just like I was peeling an apple. Now, to make a tomato rose, we want to peel this tomato as thinly as we can without breaking the skin. So I'm going to take my time, go real slow, taking my time and just going real slow and trying to be real thin. It's been a while since I've made one of these. Like everything, the more you do it, the better you get at it. I'm staying relatively thin here. Of course, a nice sharp knife helps in with this. Okay, so this tomato is already peeled. I'm just going to roll my skin back up. We're going to use that rose for our garnish. All right, so I don't want to do that with all the tomatoes, and especially if you're making something like gazpacho or bruschetta and you have a lot of tomatoes to peel. I'm going to show you how to do that. And all I'm going to do is take the tomatoes and cut a little X on the bottom of the tomato. 2 X's. I have a pot of simmering water. For 1 minute. We just want to give them a quick dip in the simmering water, and then we're going to shock them in some ice cold water. What we want to do is immediately stop the cooking process. up on a minute. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm going to pull these out and put them right into the ice water. Turn that off. And we're just going to let these tomatoes cool for a couple of minutes, and then those skins should come off for us. I'm just going to set these over here for now. All right, and I'll just put this here. Let me start with our green pepper. This recipe calls for half of a green pepper, sweet bell pepper. So I've already washed all of my vegetables. I'm just going to cut this in half. Put that there. And I'm going to use this as a little trash bin. I'm going to take the seeds out of my pepper. Make sure I get all the seeds out. Just taking my knife, a little paring knife, and going to make sure I get all of the white skin from the inside of the pepper out. Okay, so I'm nice and clean on the inside of the pepper, and I'm just going to dice this up. Now with my pepper, I don't want it to be large, so I'm going to dice it relatively small. I would say medium to medium small size. And when I'm cutting, I'm just keeping my fingers inside so I don't touch my fingertips. And I'm just going to cut this into strips. I'm just using a nice smooth up and down motion. Again, keeping my fingertips tucked in. Our pepper is diced. We have a relatively small dice here, about salad size. I'm just going to put these into our bowl. And now I'm going to go to our cucumber. I'm just going to cut the ends off. This is just a regular cucumber. This is not an English cucumber, so this has seeds. Sometimes people get indigestion from eating cucumber. That's usually from the seeds. So if we take the seeds out of the cucumber, not only are we going to have a nicer salad, a nicer looking salad, but we'll also avoid getting indigestion or anything like that. I'm going to take my peeler and peel the skin off. And I'm not worried about getting every little piece of skin off. I just want to take the majority of it off. So just peel, I'm just peeling with a regular peeler and peeling the skin off. And I have long slices of cucumber. Once again, a little spot there. Okay, put my cucumber skin in here. And you can see the seeds in the cucumber. I'm just taking a spoon. Okay, so now that our cucumbers are peeled and seeded, I'm just going to lay them flat on my board, and I'm just going to slice. Just like with the pepper, I'm just going to go and do little half moons with the cucumber. Just nice, even with my knife up and down. Try not to have the cucumber get stuck under the knife. This is a Chinese knife that I'm using. It's a very nice vegetable knife. I really enjoy using it. If you have a French knife, that will work just as well. Any type of vegetable knife. The key is that it's nice and sharp. Okay, our cucumber is sliced and in the bowl with our pepper. Now I'm moving on to my red onion. I'm going to show you, this is a way to dice onion, very easy way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the onion this way first. But I'm not going to cut all the way through. I don't want to cut past the onion. I want the end of this onion to hold it together. So I'm just going to cut relatively thin slices here, but I'm not going all the way through the onion. See, I'm still connected on the back side of the onion. Now this is the tricky part when you're cutting an onion. I'm going to cut this away. Again, I don't want to cut all the way through. Sharp knife is essential here, as I'm just going to dice my onion, I need to cut it this way as well. Just keep my knife nice and level. I don't want to press too hard. I want the knife to do the work. And again, I don't want to go all the way through. So now I've cut the onion both ways, and now I'm just going to finish with the dice. And I think this will be enough onion for our salad. But you can see, by doing it that way, my onion is already diced. I'm done. I can save this for something else. Onion is diced, and into the salad it goes. Now the tomatoes. Let's see what our tomatoes are doing. Pour this water out. And I'm just going to take my finger and just pull the skin right off the tomato. You can use a paring knife. If I have a paring knife here, it will work just as easily. Grab the skin and pull it off. These tomatoes have a thicker skin. Some tomatoes have a thinner skin. It'll practically just fall off the tomato when you do this. That one's done. All right, and I peel both of those. I'm just going to cut these, take the core out. One that I peeled earlier. I'm going to put that in here as well. All right, now I'm just going to cut these into small wedges, just like salad-sized wedges. So I have these cut into just salad-sized wedges. I see this one's a little big. Let me cut that one down. And now I'm just going to take my finger and push the seeds out of the tomato. So when I'm done, I will just have tomato meat. So I'm just taking the tomatoes and I'm just pushing the seeds out with my fingers. And I'm getting left with just tomato, this is what I want for my salad. I don't want extra liquid in my salad. Now I'm just discarding these, but if you wanted to save the tomato juice, you could. You could just have a sieve over the bowl so that you would strain out the seeds and just push the juice through. But I don't really need the juice for this. So I'm just taking this and quickly just getting rid of the seeds. So I have nothing but tomato. If you like to make bruschetta, this is an excellent way. It's a little bit more work, but it's worth it in the end. Bruschetta, if you don't take the seeds out of a tomato, it gets too watery. And then when you put it on your toasted bread rounds, after a short time, the bread gets soggy. Just by doing this, you'll avoid that. And you're still keeping all the tomato flavor. For the reason I'm doing it for this salad is I don't want to water down the dressing. So I'm going to keep as much liquid as I can out of the salad. As you can see, our tomatoes are all peeled and seeded. There may be a stray seed here and there, but we're in real good shape. So I'm just going to dice these up. Again, just about a small to medium dice. And I'm just taking my knife, I'm cutting them into strips, then I'm going to go the other way. Spin these around the other way. I'm just going to use a up and down motion with my knife, nice and easy, making sure I don't get my fingers in the way, and making sure I cut all the way through the tomato. And into our bowl they go. Okay, we have, so you can see about the size I've diced these tomatoes, just like a small to medium dice. Okay, we have some fresh Italian parsley we purchased at the grocery store. I know a lot of people grow this in their yard as well, so that will work just as well. I've already pulled the stems off the parsley, so I pretty much just have the flower, the leaf. And that's what I want to use when I'm chopping parsley. I don't want the stems. The stems don't chop well. They don't taste as nice as the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I've already washed this, and I just have the leaves, and I have my knife and my board. I'm just going to cut this. This is the part where a Chinese knife is an excellent chopper, mincer. So we're going to make fast work of this parsley. When we dice the parsley, we want to dice it small. The leaf could actually get stuck in your throat. We want to make sure it's nice and tiny. Parsley should be diced really small. Okay, we have some fresh Italian parsley we purchased at the grocery store. I know a lot of people grow this in their yard as well, so that will work just as well. I've already pulled the stems off the parsley, so I pretty much just have the flower, the leaf. And that's what I want to use when I'm chopping parsley. I don't want the stems. The stems don't chop well. They don't taste as nice as the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I've already washed this. I just have the leaves, and I have my knife and my board. I'm just going to cut this. All right, I finished chopping my parsley. You can see how small I have it. It's tiny, like dust almost. This is how you want to chop parsley. Now, let's say I don't want to use all of this, and it's real sticky. I'm going to show you how to rinse parsley. After parsley is diced, it should be rinsed again. And I'm just going to take my knife towel with me. It's actually a bandana, it's nice and clean. And I'm going to use this to rinse my parsley. I'm just going to take my parsley onto my knife and put it into the bandana. Get every last bit of it. Okay. I'm going to gather this up from the corners. I don't have a lot. When you're chopping parsley in a restaurant, you tend to do larger amounts than what we have here, but this will work just as fine. So I have my parsley basically here in this little pouch that you can see underneath, and I'm just going to rinse it through the bandana in the sink. So I'm going to hold the parsley right up to the faucet and rinse. Now that it's rinsed thoroughly, I'm going to wring it out. I'm going to really wring it out and make sure I get all the water out of it. You can see the green coming off with the water. I'm getting a lot of that green filament out of the parsley. So now I'm going to take my parsley and let you see it after it's been rinsed. Just put it on the board. Okay, I'm making sure I get all the parsley out of the bandana, and as you can see, it is nice and fresh and it's not sticky or clumpy. Let's say I'm dicing parsley and I don't want to use it all in the dish I'm making. I can save this for some other dish. This makes excellent garnish. You sprinkle parsley on practically anything you're eating, and it just adds an element of, it makes the dish look so much better, so much fresher with fresh parsley. Plus it also tastes nice and fresh. So I'm going to take my chopped parsley in this case, and I'm going to use it all. And I'm going to put it right in my salad. And we are just about done. Okay. I'm going to take some salt and pepper. I'm just going to, got the salt, a little salt on my vegetables. If I twist this away, I should get pepper. There we go. Pepper. I'm going to use my jar to make a quick little vinaigrette. I'm going to put about 1/3 of a cup of vinegar. And, oh, this is not opened. Let me open our olive oil. Okay, and I'm going to add a little olive oil. I don't want to add too much olive oil because I don't want it to solidify in the refrigerator. I'm going to put a little more salt. Salted my vegetables, and I'm also going to salt the dressing. Put a little pepper. I don't have Dijon mustard with me today, but Dijon mustard also, if I had some Grey Poupon, I'd put a little spoon of that in. And I'm going to use a little of this garlic powder. Place it in my jar. You know, you don't really need to buy vinaigrette at the grocery store. You can have, as long as you have olive oil, a nice olive oil, you can have all different kinds of vinegars, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, you know, any of your specialty vinegars, like a nice fig vinegar, something like that. Just put it in a jar, shake it up, you have vinaigrette dressing. I'm going to pour a little onto my salad. Now this should marinate. You're serving this for about an hour at minimum. Because you want the vegetables to absorb the dressing. Just going to take this and stir it up. So as you can see, as I'm stirring this, I don't have a lot of liquid. If I would not have seeded my cucumbers or my tomatoes, I would see liquid probably all the way up to here. Just want to make sure everything is well mixed and stirred together. And we're going to pretend an hour and a half has gone by. And I'm going to serve this. A nice serving bowl. Put my salad in here. Oh, this is perfect. I'm going to take some fresh parsley that I have and that tomato rose that I made earlier. Garnish my salad. And voila, cucumber and tomato salad. Again, this will be an excellent accompaniment to any kind of grilled fish or meat. You should give it a try. When you're looking for healthy, fresh ideas for recipes, don't forget about the Lorain Public Library. We have all kinds of books that have wonderful ideas for recipes, especially when you're planning a cookout or a family get-together, perhaps for Labor Day. I'm sure you will find something that will have all your guests very, very pleased. All right, thank you, and look forward to seeing you at the library.